And here is my take for today. Send those minor protesters home. But first, Inside Sources was preparing to take a stand in support of the president's firm stance in redirecting the resolution of the National Economic Council that asked for the withdrawal of the tax reform bills that he had sent to the National Assembly previously. The governors took the decision at the National Economic Council meeting that was held on Thursday, requesting further consultations. The decisions of NEC, in the same week as the decision of the Northern Governors Forum that rejected the bill, raised concerns about an attempt, possible, to stall tax reforms, and also overlooked the National Assembly's role as the ultimate forum for national consultations on issues of governance. President Tinubu's insistence that the bill should not be withdrawn from the National Assembly and that it should pass through the appropriate legislative processes is very commendable. Why? It prioritizes the timely resolution of the issue rather than allow an open-ended consultation. Now, I'd like to add, the National Assembly, not the governors' forums, is the appropriate venue for consultations. Now, let's come back to the recent and more alarming reports of numerous Nigerian minors that have been detained since the End Bad Governance protest in August. That issue demands our immediate attention. We must address this urgently as a nation. The balance between enforcing order and safeguarding citizens' rights is important for our enforcement agencies to note this. On Friday, suddenly, we found out that tens of Nigerian minors, about 30 of them, have been in detention since the End Bad Governance protest of August. They must have been incarcerated for about 90 days already. When they appeared on Friday in court, most of them were looking frail and malnourished. Some lawyers actually had to raise funds to give the kids something to eat, seeing how they were looking. In fact, some of them slumped, forcing the presiding judge to abruptly adjourn proceedings. Same Friday, on Inside Sources, we featured the story of some other End Bad Governance protesters who had been in detention for 68 days. And in the end, the federal government dropped all charges against them. Let me say that again. After spending 68 days in detention, where they were harassed and even tortured, the federal government said no more charges against them. Now, won't the same thing happen to these minors that we saw on Friday in Abuja? Even if the government has a good case against them, and there are more decent ways to conduct this matter than this embarrassingly shoddy manner that showcases us as a people very poorly in a digital age where information travels faster at times than the speed of light? Oh no, we are better than that. Now, the kids that we saw in court on Friday in Abuja, they are being charged on terrorism counts, according to news reports. And they have been in detention in various parts of the country beyond the time that is allowed by law already. As if that wasn't bad enough, the court has now set stringent bail conditions that these minors can't possibly attain, including 10 million naira bail sum. In the same week that a federal legislator got 500,000 bail in a case where he has already honed up to his own responsibility for bad behavior. All of this shocking display is a poor reflection on us as a people and should have no place in a democracy. We can't even recall that such a thing happened in the heady days of our struggle against military rule. The cruel part we are forcing those minors to work is abhorrent. It has no place in nation building. After all, those young folks are the future of our country. It is bad enough that engineer Khalid Aminu and others were detained for 68 days in Kaduna by the DSS in that state. They were also tortured in ways that don't depict us as a people with high democratic aspirations. And now these minors. We want to be regarded as Africa's giants. We want to take a seat on the United Nations Security Council. We want to be an outstanding member in the Committee of Nations, as we ought to, and for which we are otherwise eminently qualified as a people. But these unforced errors and disgraceful conduct of our law enforcement agencies have to stop, and it has to stop urgently. We see that the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, after the embarrassing scene in court, has taken over the case from the police. God bless him for that. We recall that he had the common sense, the good sense, to terminate some of the other meaningless similar cases in the past, and is now asking for an earlier date for the next hearing in this case so that it can be properly sorted out. He should completely review this matter, that is the Attorney General, and remove the shame that all of us are carrying right now regarding that matter as a people. But we must ask, how come the Ministry of Justice wasn't in the picture before now? Finally, this kind of shenanigan can tarnish President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's democratic credentials. And it's important for us to say that it can also annihilate any claim that we have as a respectable nation to international recognition. It is a national disgrace, and we must find a way to end it by all legal means possible. Please, let us send those minor protesters home.